So it's the project for today. Speedway Splined sway bar. So the sway bar I have on here now, I'll show you. So this is the one I have on here now. It's from a Camaro. I don't remember what year. It's 1.25 inches. It works really good. When I first put it on, I was like, oh my god, like it was a world of a difference. I was riding with that one for a heck of long. But yeah, I don't like the way that the end links mount up. Normally they're poly bushings. Whoa. They're polyurethane bushings that mount up there and then down to the control arm. I'm not doing suspension or anything as of now. I have like crazy plans for that in the future that involve welding and all kind of stuff. So something that'll work with the stock control arms, and it has heim joints for the end links, so they're adjustable. You can put them in a neutral no matter what the height of the car is. So and it's really easy to change the bar if I want a solid bar. Yeah, so that's basically it. It's gonna be super straightforward. I haven't seen a lot of info about this bar out there, so I figured I'd post it because I was looking for info and I couldn't find but maybe 1 or 2 posts about it. Yeah, so back to it. So now it's not binding. So now I got to put these end caps that lock that bushing in place and put it back on. So back to it. Got this bar done yesterday. I was too beat to continue and it was getting dark, so I had to space out that side. My frame is a little tweaked up. I think I found that out when I was doing the front end. This corner's up a little bit, so barely, but when it comes to something like this where it's super thick, super straight. So what I did was use a level, and I could see that it was partial to that side of the car, which makes sense because it looks like that side's bent up a little bit. So I just spaced it out till it was level. That way there's not any bind in the bar. You feel me? It can move up and down. So now I just put this on just to make sure there was no bind. So that's gonna look dope. I'm hoping it's gonna work dope too. So yeah, back to it. Okay, so you gotta center the bar, just measured from the outside out, and same on that side, outside out. Now I gotta put these heim joint mounts into the pocket of the control arm where the old sway bar used to mount, and then I don't know what's next. I didn't read what's next. I'm following the instructions, so this isn't a how-to. If you need a how-to, read the instructions. The instructions say 45 degrees from the rear mount to the control arm. What I did was I went off that lines up to right about that second mark where the bump stop is. There's little holes in the bump stop. That's not the right bump stop. I put that on there a long time. But yeah, that's it. And then really I'm gonna adjust it probably again once I get the end link on, just to make sure it's centered. So when these are in there, you want this to be centered. Like you don't want it cockeyed one way or another. It just limits your movement. Alright, so I gotta assemble these heim joints. So I haven't done in a million years. So there's supposed to be a jam nut here somewhere. There we go. Pretty straightforward. Now time to put these beautiful things on. It's gonna suck to try and clock them both on the same side, the same angle, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So it's a sad day. It's done, but it's not done. It's been a long time since something like this happened to me, but it happens sometimes, you know? Especially with smaller run production stuff, like stuff that's not, you know, mass produced by some major company that sells parts. So I'm missing 2 spacers. So if you look, these aren't tight yet, but if you look in there, you see how there's those 2 spacers on the back side of the head of that bolt, and there's one on the other side by the nut. They only gave me 2. There should be 4. So I gotta wait for those to come. I gotta call Jegs. Jegs is on point. I mean, not Jegs, Speedway. So Jegs is on point. I've never dealt with Speedway in regards to something, any type of customer service issue or parts issue. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine with it. You know, it's American owned, American ran. Yeah, I'm super juiced. It came out amazing. A big part that I learned about sway bars from my alignment guys who are like big track heads, you don't want bind at all. So when the car is sitting on the ground and it's in neutral, there should be no bind. So you should be able to pull the bolts out of those heim joints with no bind. They'll just come, you know, right out. Factory type setup comes with rubber bushings in those. They bought rubber bushings on top and bottom on the control arm. And there's just a lot of slop. There's bind built in from the factory. That's it, bro. It came out really, really good. I think it looks dope. Not to mention what it'll actually function like. I'm not doing any suspension stuff. So you see all my bushings are polyurethane. They were replaced. New ball joints, new shocks, new springs. But this is all factory stuff. So factory, you know, again, all poly, all new, but factory. There's a long list of fabrication stuff I have to do the suspension how I want. And I'm not doing that till I blow this up. So once I blow that up, then it's another transformation for the car. But I just wanted to put this out here because I didn't see anything. And I've been looking at the sway bar since they came out. And they weren't available for like 2 years, and then they just became available. So, and they're cheaper than they were before. So I went ahead and bought it, and I'm happy I did. My frame, I'm finding out because of that bar, it's so straight and so thick, it tells all secrets. So if you look, I don't know if you can tell, but if you see that arm, that frame rail, and then look at that frame rail, you can see how this one's up hella higher than this. So this is up, I want to say like an inch, 4 mils, something like that. So it is what it is. This is an old ass car, and I did a frame off a long time ago when I first got the car. So yeah, so that's it. It's done all together. Yeah, thanks for all the support, the comments, you know, all y'all that have been rocking me from the jump. You know, that stuff means a lot. Gives me energy to put this stuff out and, you know, help the community that has helped me. So yeah, any questions you already know, give me a holla, drop a comment. Get back to it, get in the garage, build what you want. Don't listen to what people say. Get off them hater ass farms.